What's up, guys? All right. If you go buy a brand new gun and you take it home, and before you've ever fired the first shot through it, you jump on the internet and start asking everyone, what trigger should you put in it? What barrel should you change out to on it? What other internal components should you change on it? What mag release should you change and put on it? And all this other stuff. Stop. We're going to have intervention time, right? Just stop. Shh. Go no further. Step away from the keyboard. Phew. There's this trend that I've been seeing. Oh my gosh. People will do just what I just described. They go buy a brand new gun, take it home, jump on the internet, go to their favorite forum, Facebook group, whatever, and hey, I just brought this brand new gun home. I haven't shot it yet, but what do you guys recommend I put in it for a trigger? What do you recommend I change the barrel out to? What do you recommend I change the mag catch to? Whatever. Why? Why do people do? I don't get it. No, actually I do get it, but I'm here to plead with you to please stop. Or if you haven't done that yet and you see others doing it, don't emulate that. If you buy a brand new gun, unless there is a known thing that needs to be changed on it, the very first things you should buy are mags, ammo, and training time. That's it. Don't worry about doing anything else to the gun until you've done that. Most modern guns, I'm talking about the armed prepared citizen, right? You guys, we're keeping it in this sphere, this cone. Some people just look at these as toys and they're just going to be hobbyists, which you know that I don't knock anybody for doing that if you want to do that, but for those of you that are serious, don't do that. Most modern guns are inherently more accurate than we are physically and humanly capable of, especially if you don't have a whole lot of training. Don't change things out to whatever the coolest new part is. Don't change things out to try to emulate what you see other people doing, what you see on the internet, etc. Go shoot the gun. Train with it. When you shoot it and start getting rounds through it, then you'll start seeing what needs to be replaced, if anything. Once you start training with it, then you'll start seeing, okay, this doesn't really work well for me for this purpose. I need to change this, change that. One of the biggest things I see people spending a lot of money on they don't need to are aftermarket triggers. And this goes for across the board, but specifically when it comes to ARs, AKs, things like that. Guys, just shoot the gun. A stock GI trigger, once you get a lot of rounds through it, is going to be a really good feeling trigger. Okay? Dropping in the latest $300, $400 match grade trigger is not going to make you a better shooter. It's not going to make you a better fighter. Okay? Training, ammo, mags, that's going to improve your skills. That's going to make you a better fighter. That's going to let you know if there is anything on your gun that needs to be changed. If there is, you address that when you get to it. But don't start changing things out and spending money that unnecessarily that you don't need to. That money you drop on those other parts, 99% of the time is going to be better served by a lot of mags, a lot of ammo, and a lot of training time. That's where you're going to be better served spending your money at. And I say that for myself. I've changed out stuff on my guns, but I've also been training and shooting for many, many, many years. It's taken me a long time just to get where I'm at. All of my guns have GI triggers in them. Every one of them. I don't have a whole lot of fancy parts other than you've seen a couple of them that I've put some free float rails on, and I've worked on my optics over the years. But that's been a slow progression for me over a number of years just to get to the point where I'm at of changing stuff, and a lot of training time. A lot. I've spent far more money on training classes than I have on all my guns combined. Far more. Don't feel like you've got to go changing everything out. I mean, I even see it with handguns, okay? If you stick with a good quality, known handgun, Glock, my favorite, Smith & Wesson M&Ps, I've owned a bunch of them. I like them. They're great guns. I've got friends who own them and shoot the crap out of them. There is very few things. Let me reverse that. One of the best ways to ruin a good Glock or M&P is to start screwing with it and changing out parts. Straight up fact. Buy a Glock or an M&P or whatever your handgun of choice is. Buy a bunch of mags, a bunch of ammo, go to the range, practice with it, get training, then see what needs to be changed. About the only things that I think you could possibly want to change on either of those guns and most other handguns, and we're talking about handguns now, would be the sights. Most handguns come from the factory with okay sights, but I think it's because nowadays a lot of manufacturers realize most people are going to change out the sights anyway, so they don't waste the money in putting a set of sights on there, because sights can be very individualistic. Like with anything, you got to get what works for you and your eyes, right? So most of them typically expect you're going to change the sights out, okay? Get the set of sights that works for you. That's an acceptable change in my book. Especially if you already have, say, a Glock or an M&P that you've done a lot of training with, and you found the sights that work for you, and you buy another one, you already know these sights work for me, I'm going to go ahead and put them on this gun. That's acceptable and fine. But to change out all these other parts on the gun, go get trained and shoot the darn thing, right? That's what's going to make you better able to defend yourself. That's what's going to make you a better shooter. Not all the hardware. Get the software squared away, and you may be surprised you don't need a whole lot of changes to the hardware to be very effective with it, and all that extra money you can put into more mags and ammo and training. There's a theme there somewhere. Not a detective, but I've been told in some circles that that's called a clue. I'm just saying. Now, as with anything, you're just hearing this from me, some stranger on the internet. So it's worth exactly one wooden nickel to you. One. I don't even know what wooden nickels are worth these days, but I imagine they're probably not much. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. No, I said 5 cents. That's be a nickel, right? See, I can't even do math today because I'm thinking about this stuff and it blows my mind, and I haven't had enough of this. All right. Train, guys. Train, train, train. Practice. Get to the range and shoot. Spend your money there. Don't worry about changing crap out on your guns, okay? Don't fall into that trap and that pressure that you see that you got to have the latest, speed reload mag catch and the latest speed reload bolt catch, and etc., etc., etc. Just do what I've already said a dozen times. You guys take care. Get out there and train. And I'll see you in another one.